Hello, Dr. L here. This is a recording of the Chaos Clinic that I did on November 6th, 2015. I conducted this Chaos Clinic using TeamViewer. Early in the session, I had a problem with my audio, so this clip starts after that technocrat problem was corrected. I'm archiving it because it shows many of my energy field trading techniques and how I put them all together. This is a long recording, but it has been cut basically in half, taking the 6 hour session down to about 3 hour sessions. Think of it as a mini course in energy field trading. Enjoy. Okay, I'm back. I was really proud of the spiel I was doing. Sorry it didn't get recorded. Just taking a quick look at my Ninja Trader screen here. This trade's gone about as I expected. I thought we'd get some pickup here. Uh, the red swan here has kicked it back down. And now my winning trade is turned into a losing trade. But I'm going to be stubborn. I'm going to just sit here on this. And wait. So I'm just not going to worry about this trade for a bit. And I'm going to see if I can go back and recreate some of what I started out with. The charts, everything I was doing except the audio should have been recorded. So after this is all over, I'm going to see if I can't narrate exactly everything I was doing. But right now, I'm just going to try to give a quick rerun of what I talked about. I started out by looking at this chart, which was a this is a chart showing it's 1 minute data. I collect my own data, and it's over several days. This chart has every second day labeled. I do that simply so the labels don't overlap. Right here on the September 27th, all the news channels were talking about the lunar eclipse on the supermoon. The eclipse does show up in the S&P pretty big. That energy drove down here to 1863, which turns out to be a key energy point in the S&P. Got a rally up here. This was the first Friday of October. We got a sharp drop on the jobs report, and then a sharp reversal as the jobs report says jobs were weaker than expected, and it fostered the story that the Fed was not going to be able to raise interest rates, and that kind of set us up into this uptrend. This is a 10,080 minute exponential moving average on 1 minute data. And that turns out to be 7 days. 7 days is a quarter of a moon cycle, which is why I picked it. And what it was showing here, and it's still showing, is that we are in a downtrend. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, possible 6 and 7, although you might count this little one as a 1. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this chart told me that my strategy today should have been looking to buy the dips. The question is, can you get a good safe trade off of it? I also showed one of my many Astro charts. This one I call my Daniel chart, named after my grandson Daniel, and it has all kinds of electric field stuff in here that I found is important in S&P. I won't begin to explain it to you. Coming down here, this red line is a downcoming. That's a red swan. This one coming up here is the positive version of a blue swan. And coming up here is looking for today, if I was looking to buy a dip, I was looking for support on this green swan coming up. And the double line, this is the 0 aspect and the 1 degree aspect. This upcoming line here also is support. That is an energy flux due to Mercury. So it looked to me like this mess of lines was telling me we could congest and then could probably had a chance of picking up a rally. Now the jobs report said that jobs were much larger than normal, which says, oh, that's good for the economy, but that also means the Fed's probably going to raise interest rates. So this little discussion here is about which is more important. Astrophysically, if we can get above this point for sure, we're going to be going up. But my strategy then, from looking at these two charts, was to buy the dips, but I also watch my this chart, which comes from my Chaos Trader End of Day program that only I and a few of my old clients use, because you have to, I can't support it. That's why I'm putting everything into NinjaJay. This red line is the Exco Energy forecast for the S&P shifted back 6 days. There's a technical reason for the shifting it back 6 days, but the practical reason is it really works. This high right here, in August, we started down here. I got worried on this down bar. I got out of all stocks and went on vacation and managed to be on vacation through all this gyration. I knew what was probably going to happen. We're going to have several days of panic and then some wild chopping around here. I got support off of this flux line here. So that showed a higher low. This is an exponential moving average of 36 days. But I'll point out my charts have weekends on them, and I actually extrapolate data over the weekends. So this is a 36 calendar day exponential moving average. This one's a 220. So you can see that we turned this 36 up here, and the 220 is curling up here. So that says that all this crap over here is done. And what I was looking for in here was a dip corresponding in here. Now this red line can shift up and down, but I was looking for, because of this Exco forecast, a rally ahead into next week, few days of dip up into there. Then this red Exco here, this looks like where the Fed probably does raise interest rates. But at any rate, after looking at those charts, then I brought up some my NinjaTrader charts, And that I want up here, I think, is this it? Yes. At this point, I manually drew in the pip prices, support, S1, pivot, R1. But as we were coming down here, what I pointed out was that this chart has on it uh, several of the tools out of my Astro tools that are going to be offered in NinjaTrader as an Astro pack. It will be a leased product. It will not be free. It's taken decades of development and some pretty expensive programming to get it into NinjaTrader, and it is the epitome of my energy field trading approach. So this is that green swan coming up. This was the rising blue swan. You see we've got kind of this channel here and here. Now I bought on this rising bar here, and I explained at the time, although you couldn't hear me, that I was seeing this double bottom off of the green swan coming up here, and this one turned up, and I saw that it's very likely this is the 20-minute exponential moving average, and this is the 55. When the 55 is broken, the fast move is almost always over. So I bought here, and then I put my first stop down here below the low, and now I've got it below the second low. After we get a little further up here, I'm going to move that stop up here above my first low. So, okay, I think that kind of catches up what I explained, probably more efficiently than I originally did. So if you'll either speak up or tell me if everyone's up to speed here. Okay, I get a yes from Dale, thank you. Okay, now, and Dawn, a yes. So there we are. Now we're back to this trade that I picked up here. These vertical lines I manually drew in because I don't have this computer set up. These are the lines that you can download. These are the Moontide trade times. So if you are a subscriber to the hotline and use NinjaTrader, you can get those lines on your screen automatically. So now if I look at this trade, it's still in and out of the money. The point of decision is right over here. You're seeing energy pressing down, energy pressing up. So the jury's out as to whether or not this trade will work. It was good for about 5 points here, but I elected to hold it rather than cover it. So now I've got my stop here. We are now pressing down to S1. We're right on the the green swan. So I think I'm out of things to say for a while here. Uh, I'm probably going to take a break for breakfast, and then I'll come back and hopefully finish up. I think I did a pretty good recap, uh, probably more efficiently than I did originally. So uh, hopefully this will all be in the recording and I can archive this. Uh, so right now, uh, I don't see any more to talk about now. What I like here is that we do look like we are going to hold some kind of support. I don't know that we'll get that much of a rally here. Uh, my trade entry was definitely counter trend because the trend is still controlled by this 440 minute exponential moving average. Here's the 220, 110. Right in here, we've got them very tangled, which simply means they're balanced and things can go either way. I like that we held support on S1 here. And I've got this green candle coming up. Now, as those of you who have taken my course know, I do a lot of things with E-Mylar overlays, which are little programs that have they're simply windows with translucent backgrounds. And contain such things as a fractal pi pattern, things of that. I can't show them on a public ChaosClinic, but I can show you something I use a lot, and that is circles. Sometimes you can find a good entry point or a change in the energy field. Energy fields create circular waves due to the magnetic field, and linear waves due to the electric field. So sometimes you can find the end of something by finding where the arc ends. It looks like this trade may get stopped out, but I'm going to sit tight. I've been working too hard on this already this morning. I'll just let you watch the flux line. I like the fact that this is what I'd call a fireball. And if I sort of center it right here where the rally after the news started and try to adjust its size somewhere there, maybe reduce it vertically. Okay. This is kind of a container for a ball of energy. If you take your hands and hold them in sort of an open prayer position where your fingertips are touching, your hands are open, and you form a little basket between them, you can move that in and out, and you'll build a ball of energy. uh, and you can actually feel the tingling in your fingers. Well, this is a similar ball of energy right here. Uh, so one of my Mylar overlays I like because I can do a quick uh, look at something. So now that I've got that ball of energy, looks like right under there, I can then use the drawing tool in Ninja Trader to draw an ellipse. And typically, it doesn't draw it from the center like I want it, but I'll get an ellipse here and then I'll size it up. Okay, so okay, there's an energy ball. Uh, I call them fireballs. The mathematics of the electric field create this planetary wise. A lot of the physical causes of these are due to the planet Uranus. Okay, what I like here is that we got a low here. Now this uh, cycle I'm tracking here had a high, but it may have inverted to a low. May have inverted halfway between the 45 and the 90 here. So I may simply have the wrong harmonics in here. In fact, let me look at that. That's my TX times 2. Let me change the harmonics on that cycle and see if it tells me anything. I'm going to tell it to change it to 12, 12th harmonic. Okay, 12th harmonic is what the ancients gave us to tell time by. They divided the day into 2 parts, and each half of the day divided into 12 parts. Also the 12 signs of the zodiac and all that stuff. So okay, now this 90 point here on that cycle helps me. Okay, my trade's still treading water here. Not too worried about it because I know what the energy field's doing. So energy field trading is all about getting beyond the traditional indicators and the one-dimensional up and down, and trying to take into account the 3D nature of the market, or at least the 2D nature. And to do that, I very carefully work to set up my charts so that they are square. Here I'm using 3 points in 30 minutes as a square on my background grid. There's I frequently will draw on my chart a square just to remind myself when I look at this chart what I thought square was. And now what I can do then is that I can draw harmonic lines, which most people know as Gann lines, according to the scale. I've got a grid corner here. I'm going to start a line. I'm going to put this line up here over 2 and up 1 unit, and I'm going to go over here, make it a little bit bigger right there. Whoops. I've got to remember to click. Now this 2x1 off of the, I like this. This is my 2x1 angle off the low, supporting it. So this is 3 points per half hour. That's 6 points per hour. That's a really good scale on moon motion. So I like it. And I'm going to stick with it. Having trouble with this ellipse, trying to size it right. Okay, there I've got my fireball sized up. My strategy was to buy the dip based on longer term stuff. I got aggressive in here. I've tried to stick to my convictions in here, write out the techno crap and all the challenges of multiplexing or multitasking. Humans were not designed to multitask, by the way. Brain studies show that. Any rate, here we are. I entered on the first trade. I could have just taken 5. I elected to hold because I was doing this clinic. And because I have a strategy for the day that says try to buy the dip here. The S&P on this jobs report, negative, positive, negative, positive. The U.S. market frequently has a much harder time digesting this stuff than the Europeans because they don't have to worry about our interest rates and what our Fed's going to do. They've got a different bank to worry about. The euro was real clear on what the jobs report in the U.S. meant to them, and the euro tanked well. So in detail, the two sort of go in opposite directions. I mean, in general, they tend to go in opposite directions, but in detail, probably not. Now, what I really like here, I pointed out that this is where the red swan and the green swan cross over. And I like the fact that we're showing bullish activity here. I've got my 2x1 up here. Now, let me show you that if this first rally coming up here, this slope will be a 6x1. And 6x1 is not even in most GAN fans in most trading programs. But I guarantee you it is a valid harmonic. I'm going to draw 6x1 using the grid of my chart here. 1 there, 3, 4, 5. There's a 6x1. So I'm going to move that 6x1 over to this rally here. And I show you first rally is right up the 6x1. So that helped or tells me that this GAN fan is probably pretty good. And there's probably a second. The move that really caught is right here. So the question is, where do you start your GAN fan? And I don't use the Ninja Trader GAN fans because I'll eventually probably modify them. You have to position one, and then you have to change its properties. And upright is where I want to go. Apply. I'll set the default to upright. But you notice they don't have a 6x1 in here. Here they have 8x1, and they set up some scale factor here. And I don't points per bar, if I'm using 3-minute bars, this is hard to figure out. Points per bar, 3 minutes. I want 3 points in 30 minutes, so that's 10 bars, 0.3. I apply. So here's the NinjaTrader GAN fan. And it would look like that. I just like to watch a few ones. Okay, I do have the two lined up. That is their 2x1 according to what I set there. So with the exception of the 8x1 angle and not having a 6x1, the NinjaTrader GAN fan isn't too bad. Nice thing is I can move it off of this low here and see how things progress here. This is the 1x1 coming up over here. So everything still looks good. I'm now going to take a 15-minute break and go eat breakfast. My wife is getting up upstairs, and I've got things set up here. Stop is in, trade is in, analysis is done, audio's on, all that stuff. So excuse me while I take a break, and I'll come back in about 15, 20 minutes. Okay, I am back from breakfast. I always like to eat breakfast with my wife. I try to follow the simple rule: happy wife, happy life. Okay, indicators. I don't like having that. NinjaTrader GAN fan is too complicated for me. Oh, that's interesting. It's not in the list of indicators. NinjaTrader has a few warts. So maybe I can click on it somewhere here. Get it to identify. Or maybe I should just leave it alone. One, two, three, four. Okay. I'm getting indication of sound now, and everyone hears me. Had a note that there was no sound, but that's probably because I left the room. GAN fan is under the pencil line on the toolbar. Oh yeah, that you're talking about the erase feature. Erase the GAN fan there. Okay, thank you. Okay, now we're coming into what's the second moontide trade time. We're still hanging in there with our trade. Kind of settled out to a flat in here. I remain well, I continue to think that this is a correction that's going to be reversed. We're congesting more and more here. There is a face of God pattern out over here to the right somewhere. I can't put it on this screen because it's proprietary knowledge that I can't show everyone, but I'll just count on this GAN fan line here. Here's the 6x1 up. Here's the 2x1. We're trapped between those two. So as we press on during the day, if this moontide here was a high, which it was, and this one's a low, which is it could be, then this one would tend to be a high. And if that happens and we go all the way up to R1, we'd have a wonderful day. So nothing to do now except wait and see. This is a complex little computer setup. I've got so much stuff running, it's incredible that it all runs on a desktop because it takes a lot of CPU cycles, video, screen video, and audio over the web. I'm not using a video camera. It just requires too much extra bandwidth and doesn't provide any value. You guys looking at my talking head doesn't really add any value. But I've got interactive brokers running. Account plus some charts, interactive broker charts. There's my gold daily chart, interactive brokers. I got a bunch of those charts running from Interactive Brokers. My NinjaTrader connects through Interactive Brokers. So I need Interactive Brokers running so I can run NinjaTrader. I've got TeamViewer running so I can do this. In addition, I have my own software running, like my Chaos Trader Real Time, and it just requires a lot of performance, but it all does sit here and work, and all I have to do is keep it working. Thank God I'm an engineer. Okay, now as I watch the bars come along here, my entry, although it had a dip, it bounced up right where I found the edge of my energy ball, and it's trying to go up now. It's staying above my GAN 2x1. Here I've got the green swan going up, and cycle here I still don't. We did get low near 90. May have inverted again. 90, 120 would be 105. I don't know. These are more time points than necessarily a high or low. I can also invert that thing. I have to go in here to change the smallest aspect type to a low. That will invert it here. The short-term cycles in particular invert a lot. Oh, okay. I kind of like that. Low, high, high, coming into a low. This high kind of washed out in there, but this low, high, low, wow. We'll see if this keeps working here. Okay, up a little bit. Okay, I've turned that astrocycle on as lines here on the, that cycle can be overlaid on the chart. Same as input cycles, the type was line. Okay, oh, I'm looking at the right one, wrong one. Plot style there, I want zigzag. Okay, I didn't quite figure that out the way I thought I should have. Uh, I don't think I want to mess with it today. Okay, just watching the trade here. Uh, it's looking good.
Order pending.
Okay, that sound was just me putting an order in another market on my protective stop in my euro trade. That's a swing trade, so I'm not discussing that here. Okay, besides using a chart trader in NinjaTrader, I still use the interactive brokers, and I like the fact that I can go in and modify things such as how long the order, this is a good till canceled order, NinjaTrader putting in as a day order. So uh, using interactive brokers and NinjaTrader give me complete control for what I want to do. Okay, we're now pressing down on the S1 support level. We can't go much lower here. Okay, here's the flux. We don't hold right about in there. I think it's over with. Now that still is coming into potential low. I'm not moving this stop. I decided I would ride this trade earlier. I'm not going to second guess myself. From the low, we've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, and I have an overlay that suggests that this might be a setup for going higher. So Okay, this is a simple chaos clamshell 7-move pattern. Sometimes I find it helps just to be as simple as possible. Keep things as simple as possible, if not simpler. That was one of Einstein's uh, favorite assertions. So my stop is still holding. I've accepted the risk of that much. I know that this is not a great trade. I know that if I'd taken money there, I'd be ahead, but it's all water under the bridge, and I was doing the best I could at the time. So uh, I'm just going to wait and see what happens right in here. The indicators down here at a near bottom. So this is selling pressure coming down here. We're going to get some corresponding buying pressure coming back up here pretty soon. So so far, the market's pretty much as I expected. It early morning panic has held up. We've held up. We're still holding up. This was a 2x1. I'm going to drop this so I can go on my chart. My guess is there's a 4x1 support in there. My line here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4x1 off of the low. Is right in there. Okay, so here's my 4x1 right here. This is my 2x1. So my 4x1 off the low is still holding right in here. So I'm just going to watch and see what happens. It's quiet Friday afternoon, not much to go on here. Here's the high on the chart. And from that high, I see a 1 move, 2 move, 3 move, 4 move, 5 move, 6 move, 7 move. There are 7 moves in a chaos clamshell. So this is potentially the end of a chaos clamshell. Now in congestions, the clamshells may be quite distorted. So Uh, Let me put on another overlay here. And what I want is nope, not that one. There we go. Let me see what kind of a fit I get in here. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. So you can play around with this size. The main point is here is that energy adds together on harmonics and it adds together better on different harmonics. If you look at all the possible addition of energies, you find out that seventh harmonic energies don't add to other harmonic energies at all, uh, like the second, the third, the fourth, because they're not harmonic to it. So it's no, the ancients told us all this. The seven is the most important number in the Bible, most frequent number mentioned in the Bible. And seven moves of the chaos clamshell was one of my early discoveries. I studied the Elliott wave and I found out that Elliott said there were five and then a correction, but in that five, there's usually a correction that had an A, B, C. So if you take that big correction and the five, you get seven. And when I just studied the mathematics of energy addition, I found out that seventh harmonic was really important here. So in that seven moves, this cycle has a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 swings. So that's in this clamshell, there are a bunch of harmonics that build it. The fifth is one of them. So still not giving up on this trade. I got in early. My strategy was to buy the dip. I bought the dip. I'm still holding, and call me a stubborn Finlander. I'm going to keep holding. Okay, this chart is chart off the website, but this is a short-term X tide here is showing a rally up in through here, up into say about 14:20 Eastern time. So I'll stick it out till then. The efficiency has been kind of tracking this. So if there's a rally, it's got to take place in the next 2 hours here.
Okay, if this low is going to hold, it has to hold above the 6x1. So I'm adjusting this 4x1 that I had to be a 6x1. And that's sort of my yellow river there. We break that, well, my stop is just under it. So this trade may get stopped out. I've held on to it too long, but it's pocket change, so I'm not worried about it. Okay, coming right in here, we've got moonflux. We bounced off this moonflux right here. Here, that's where the moonflux and the red swan and the green swan battled. Red swan won. There's nothing that says we can't come back up here to the green swan. Cycle-wise, I'm still showing a low. I've got another pattern, which comes from the Stargo course, which I can't show you. That is fitting here. In fact, it's fitting the entire day up to this point. And it suggests holding out for a rally for at least the next hour and maybe two. So Stargo course is an interesting course in that it reveals a pattern that's due to the what I believe is background radiation of the universe. It shows up in the U.S. stock market over long cycles, but the pattern repeats like most fractals on smaller time scales. And in fact, it shows up frequently in intraday trading. And in that course, I provide a E-Mylar overlay for it, so one can frequently find it useful in trading. Okay, what I like in here is that we're starting to get some green bars. I'm still sitting on a loss. Just because of the way I do the ChaosClinic, I wasn't nimble enough to take a 5-point profit up here and I'll be done with the trade. But since this was a counter trend trade to begin with, I'm still holding up, realizing that the trend is still down, but I don't have that bad of an entry. We did get below S1 here, which the computers will trade. Not a lot of motion below S1 here. Get above S1, we still got a chance of going up. So my strategy was to buy a dip. I bought a dip. And I'm still holding tough. Now I'm going to move my energy ball here and see if there's any information there. I put the center on this low here. The edge is right on this low. That's interesting. And that I found from fitting price earlier. So these energy balls are very kind of fluid things, but once you come off of an edge, you can get a sharp move. So there we are going up. Okay, I'm still down a couple points, but I'm hanging tough. If I were not long or had extra capital, I would add an
Order filled.
Okay, so what I did do here was I added one based on this analysis here and coming off here. We're a little bit past the trade time. I like coming off the flex line. I like that the 6x1 is holding here. So I bought off coming off of the 6x1. I added to my contract. Now I just need to change my stop loss.
Order pending.
So I'm not adding because I'm trying to average out a loser. I'm adding because uh, I see an opportunity to lower my average price uh, while still maintaining my strategy. And again, my strategy was to buy the dips. So there was a dip, I bought it. I didn't buy this dip, but I am buying this one. And in terms of a chaos clamshell, this is a 1, 2, 3, 4. You got to buy 4 because in many chaos clamshells, move 5 is the biggest, strongest one. So you don't want to be missing in action on a 5. I got this cycle coming up. My indicator right there, uh, turning above the green line there, uh, that's a buy signal on that indicator. So I did buy 2. I added to that position. So when I look at this, things look good. I'm just going to hang tough here. We have a higher low. I've got multiple patterns saying to hang tough. So I'm going to hang tough. Okay, if you're still around and hearing me well, would you just acknowledge that in the chat room, please? I'm trying to make sure this technical crap is still running. Oh, thank you, Dale. Okay, this down chaos clamshell still looks like a decent pattern interpretation. So what I got to see now is a continuation of some up action. And I thought one may have started here, maybe starting over here, but I'm going to use that spacing to size this. Okay, maybe that's not quite right. Maybe right in there. Another possibility here, so. There's nothing that says that chaos clamshells have to be fit end to end. They can actually overlap. They're simply energy patterns that are produced by the mathematics of energy addition. If you want to learn more about those, you should take my Cash In on Chaos course and my Fractal Pi course as beginning courses. And then I suggest taking the Chaos Trading Made Easy course, which teaches you how to recognize chaos in markets using some fairly standard or setting them up in a way that can be done in most pieces of trading software. And then the Face of God course, which provides useful master overlays. And if you really want to understand how the universe moves energy around and how that affects not only you and markets, the essentials of personal and market astrophysics is a good starting point. And then finally, my Stargo course is available. And the Stargo course is online. EPMAP is currently just in Come to Denver and See Me version. Over the next, I don't know, probably year, I'm going to convert that into an energy field trading course, much of it being online, but good part of it may be given through TeamViewer webinars. So I'll just have to see how my time works out. But at any rate, in terms of courses, those are some things you might want to think about. Okay, I have we had 3 Moontide trade times. I entered on the first one. I carried through the second one. Uh, I'm trying not to overtrade today. It's really hard to do all this techno crap and make trades on each of these short little swings here. When I'm all alone and well rested, I can do that, but I can't do it when I'm trying to handle 6 computer programs at the same time and talk and try to think. So uh, I made one entry here and I'm sticking with it. I added a second contract here because my strategy still seems to be good and I wanted to lower my average entry. The only time to add a contract, the only time I like to do it is where I can lower my average price, which gives me a possibility for a closer stop. So now I had the X-tide energy saying rally up into about this time here. Maybe the rally comes in here. I'm going to be very careful now to take some money. So what I'm going to do here is that I'm going to take off this previous high right over here. It's picked up by this high-low band over here, right up in there. 84 plus 4, 5 points, 89.
Order pending.
I'm going to sell one at a 5-point gain here. And that's the only sell order I'm going to put in at the moment. I like the fact that although things have gotten real slow, the panic wane is evidenced by these 3 lows. Some traders call this 3 drives to a low. I wouldn't call it that because this one's not down in the same vicinity. But in terms of my Gann line, I like that my 6x1 held here. So I like where my stop is. It's a very close stop, but it's held up. Very close stop for the volatile conditions we've had. So now I'm just going to hang tough and let the market do the work. Now you can clearly see what the addition of my Astro stuff to the chart has done for me here. The exponential moving averages are good indicators of general trends, but they're very slow to react, and they do not tell you what the energy field is doing. Uh, these flux lines, as I said, are like trade winds. This red line coming down is trade wind uh, blowing south. This one here was the green one going up, is trade wind blowing north. So if this thing gets some wind in its sails, we can get another fast rally like this one here. So in fact, what I'm going to do is take this line here. Okay, this little rally was on a 6x1. I'm going to offset it here a little bit, like maybe over here. And watch for a possible fast rally here as we come into the afternoon in New York. It's 1 o'clock in New York. Uh, those people who haven't taken off and gone to the Hamptons for the weekend, of course, most of those guys live up in Connecticut. But at any rate, on New York time, there's the afternoon. There's only 3 hours of stock trading left. The news is out about the jobs growth. Final decisions have to be made about how the bigger boys play this, and that's all got to be done before the close today. So I'm going to try and sit here and just watch the energy cycles work, do my best to trade them intelligently, and accept the outcome. What I like here is the way the exponential moving averages are curling. The 20 is definitely curled up, as the 55. Here comes 110. Here comes some of that energy I was expecting as it came off of this cycle low here. I can't yet raise my stop. It's been a good stop. It has held me in a congestion where I managed to enter. I got a relatively good average price in here by doing 2 contracts. If I look at this congestion, my entry is below the kind of the middle of the congestion. So that looks good. Getting a little bit of buying now. I like the curl in the 20 here. When the 20 curls fast, we're now starting to get efficient going up. Things are looking better. Oh, Joe says he liked the Chaos clamshell down. So as you've seen from my charts, I tend to look at a whole bunch of very complex stuff, and sometimes I have to tell myself that things I learned first was like 7 moves in a down chaos clamshell. Uh, I can't forget about, and it really helps to keep things simple. Uh, so I seeing 7 moves here. If you can count to 7 and use it intelligently, it'll help your trading a great deal. Okay, now we are perking. Those of you who like to position trade, this is the kind of point where in a longer term account, I'll do something like buy 100 SPYs. When I see this going up, longer term, I was looking for a dip, continued rally, so I'd hurry up and buy SPYs right here. They're not as they're not leveraged like futures, but if you time them right, they can be something that you can trade with uh, out too much risk. Okay, I'm moving this line here. Now that it starts to moving up, right in here, I've got my moving average is curled. There's the 20 crossing the 110. Here's the 55. Still not much motion because it is a dull Friday afternoon, but things look good. What I like here in terms of energy stuff here is that uh, this moon flux here, uh, violating here, but then the green tide brought it back up, held here, held here. And we're getting what I call a back push off. This is a support line, even though it's uh, going lower, but it is paired with this moon one up here. This is the minus moon 270, and this is the plus moon 135. So once you bounce off of one of them, you could have a possibility of going up to the other one. And as a minimum, they'll tend to come up to the balance level, which is the midpoint between them, which would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it'd be up 4.5 grid units. 1, 2, 3, 4.5. That'd be right in here, just about where this 91 is. Now the rest of the afternoon can go one of 2 days, one of 2 ways. Uh, it does not look like we're going down, but we could muddle in the middle or go up. So I'm happy to just wait for the final result. Although if I get a fast gain up here, I'm going to take it and go home. Okay, what I'm liking in here is that even though the fractal efficiency is up, it hasn't turned down, and we can now get this efficient move up that I'm hoping for. Now what I'm looking for here, this blue line is the 110-minute exponential moving averages. So on a 3-minute bar chart, it's my 53-minute or 53 bars. I do all my work in hours, minutes, and days the way God invented time. Trading programs, early trading programs, had to pick a metaphor for representing the data, and somebody picked bars, and we've been trading systems have been drunk ever since. That's why they can't tell time out here in the future. Okay, now right in here, we're getting the energy I'm looking for, so I'm going to immediately raise that stop up to 91. So sell one limit at 91. Same time I do that, here I'm getting the crossover. I can raise my, excuse me, my protective stop to right here. So I've now built a position. I protected myself. I'm going to take one off when I get up here. That simply gives me more power to hold one longer. I watch the averages here. This cycle here turned out to be pretty good. It's going to peak up in here, but again, this thing is very short, unstable cycle. It can invert here. So, in fact, the star go pattern suggests that one hold this till quite a bit higher. So now if we start getting up in the region of this green swan, we could really fly. Okay, my stop is 1.75 away. That's good. I'm up 3 points. I don't like to give the market more than about, certainly no more than 6 points. And a range on me, and that's almost exactly 6 points off that high. So now I like that we've gotten above this S1 level. Move that label over here. This label here is the pivot. And in wildest dreams, we might make it up to R1. Okay, right here we pushed up to the 440 minute exponential moving average. If you look closely, it looks like there may be a slight curl, but this moving average has to be punched through and has to turn up. It represents the trend of the day, which has been down, but weekly down, and weekly because of the slope. I pay a lot of attention to slopes of lines and speed of motion because the electric currents are all based upon the rate of change of moving bodies through electric fields. And the rate of change is is an engineering term for speed. Speed shows up here in the slopes. So here, if I look at the slope of the yellow exponential moving average, from here to here, it's a lot steeper than it was over here, but not as steep as it was over here. Okay, right in here, I'm concerned about this little bit of a stall here, particularly because I've got a peak on these two. So since I've got two contracts, what I'm going to do is cancel this
Order
sell limit,
canceled.
and I'm going to sell one. Okay, yeah, I'm going to sell one here. So I'm going to
Order filled.
put one in the bank. Okay. And it looks like on that I got three and a half points from my original entry. That was on the first contract. Interactive Broker is going to show the numbers a little bit differently. So any rate, I now have taken basically 1 3 point gain. I'm going to change this stop now to 1.
Order canceled.
So now I'm up for the day by about $150. I have to look at the details. And it may seem like a lot of work, uh, and it is. This is the most competitive game in the world. Every bright mind in the world, every computer in the world, every financial institution in the world is competing with you. So if you're going to be an individual trader, you better be very good. You better be very dedicated. You better have very good tools, and you better know how to use them. So it's taken me a long time to get to that point. And in doing so, I had to create my own set of tools based on energy field trading. But so far today, it's paid off. I got profit on my first contract. I'm not now going to make sure I've got a gain for the day. I got this stop 1.5 below. I have indications here that this is going to go higher, but I have this cycle coming down here. I may have to wait until over here. This is the next trade time. And I'm going to try to wait until we get over to there and ride it for a little bit longer. If this cycle keeps working, may be able to even hold this up into the close. I like this little green candle right here. And now this following one tells me that this this cycle down here may have inverted. As I pointed out earlier, these cycles are pretty treacherous. This indicator is telling me that we're doing good here. Okay, this is now a pretty much hold to close type pattern. I may decide to cover it later, but I really like the fact here that this upcast clamshell is happening. So if I had 7 moves down here, I hit the end of the energy ball, I got a 1 and a 2, and I'm long 3, 4, 5 could be the big move. So I'm very happy. And what I am happy about is that when I told you to go buy, you could go buy some SPY in here. I did that, trying to add to a longer term investment position. So looking good, looking good. Now, as soon as this gets up to a 6-point gain, I'll move that stop uh, up to break even. I did a lot of trading system research, and when you optimize short-term E-mini trading systems for the best stop loss, it turns out to be about 5.5 points. Well, I'm mentally challenged. I can't compute a number like 2088 minus 5.5 or 288, but I can compute 288 minus 6 would be 282. So here we come. Here's my 6x1 rally that I was looking for, hoping for. And that's coming where the X-Tide said it should, X-Tide forecast suggested it might be. I will not say that it told me it would be. Forecasts are simply that. They're like weather forecasts. You got to double check the weather before you believe them. Okay, so we're up 88, 50. So get this to move. I'm going to press this a little bit. I've seen the break. I'm going to move it up to 84 right now. So uh, one reason I'm doing that is when I look at the fine detail accounting, my first trade, I bought 84.75. I sold 86.5 for a plus 1.75. I actually bought the second one at 2083. So moving my stop up now on that particular lot, I've got a 1-point gain. Okay, now I can move it up to right at this point right here. $85, that's where the exponential moving average is. Yes, I am talking. It's, wait, you said that my time, 11:43. Yes, and is everyone hearing me? If so, if everyone's hearing me, say so in the chat room, please. Okay, good, good. Thank you, Neil. And thanks for being a long-time loyal customer too. Without all my long-time loyal customers, I could not have sustained my own independent research over the past few decades. I've taken no one else's money except all I've done is help private traders and resisted attempts to sell out to the financial industry. So it's paid off, but I really appreciate the long-term support from my good clients. Okay, now we've reached a critical point here. This is the 440. We've broken above the 440-minute exponential moving average. We're on the 6x1. I don't want to press my stop too fast, but if I look very carefully here, my 55-minute is up here at 2086.24. I can move my stop up here to 2086. Now, in terms of the question earlier about whether or not at this trade tide time I would expect a reversal, keep in mind that the moon tide or there's a 45-minute, roughly 45-minute to an hour trading window on either side of this tide time. On this one, the move actually came a little early. The moon tide, the reason I like to use vertical lines is it doesn't bias you one way or the other, but their energy, they are times when there should be more energy than average. So it's times in that window you should be able to get a decent trade. And there was a decent trade here within that window. Within this window, not so much. You could have taken a little sell here, but again, within that window, usually what I look for is that you go from one moon tide to another moon tide to another moon tide. But today what we're seeing is that we're seeing basically little streaks centered about the moon tides. Now here I've got a moon tide. There's obviously the low. Now I'll be alert for that petering out when it's kind of on the other side of the tide time, but all my other stuff here suggests that that this move could continue long past that 45 window. So this was simply an entry early. This turn here was in the trading window, and then you simply try to follow the move until you find a point where you can take your money. In this case today, longer term indications, my strategy was always to buy a dip. It's Friday afternoon. The news is out. They're not going to raise interest rates until uh, December. Jobs are good. Why not just buy in here and ride it until December? Let's not worry until December. There's a good line used several times in The Bridge of Spies, which is a great movie if you haven't seen it. The Russian spy, uh, Tom Hanks is the lawyer defending him, and the Russian spy, or Tom Hanks says, "Aren't you worried?" And the Russian spy says, "Would it help?" So in this case, we got a trend going up. Would it help to worry about it? No. Okay, I've got a locked in gain of 2 points on this contract. I got 1.75 on my other contract. I'm a happy camper now. I know I'm going to win today. I like these little lows off of my 2x1 off of the low. I also like the fact that this energy ball that I sort of sketched here looks like it was valid. What that means is all the energy encapsulated in this magnetic field rotation now is going to be unleashed in the electric field going up. Since my 2x1 off the low is looking good, I'm now going to take the time to draw my 1x1. Okay, off that low, it comes clear up here. I don't know that we'll reach that necessarily today. I do like that the 1x1 nailed these highs. Now that's off the low. I'm going to put one off at the second low here. Okay, now we passed the moontide time here, and it's confirmed that we're continuing up. So the moontide trade setup was actually here. This is a forecast, and hey, if I can get you, I compute these forecasts a year in advance, and I can get you within 45 minutes. Hey, give me a break. It's pretty good. Okay, I am not going to cover this yet. Uh, my analysis says that now we've caught some form of delayed energy from this. Uh, the bigger boys have recognized that uh, they should be long, and they got in here. Those who uh, had the ability to add positions added. The real smart money simply held through this dip, uh, or the big money, the people who can afford dips. Now, if I just look at this, we've got the exponential moving averages curling up, and I'm going to simply move my stop up here. This is a fast move now, and as long as the 55-minute exponential moving average holds, the trade should be in good shape. So to recap, what I did is I bought one early because I was busy. I simply held it. I bought another one in this region. I took some money off of the first one on this little high to give me a little bit of staying power for this move that I thought would develop here. Now that it has developed, I can sit back and enjoy the ride. Okay, here's my little chaos clamshell up. Uh, and it is looking pretty good. This pattern also, as I mentioned earlier, is part of a larger Stargo pattern. We have a good chance of going up here and challenging these highs, maybe even going higher. Up here, looking ahead up here, should we get up to R1, I'm definitely going to cover because here we have a red tide coming down. And now this is the downgoing moon flux, the minus T270. Here's the plus T135. This is sort of the balance point. So we're now up to that balance point. If we overcome that balance point, we could make it up to there. I'm just going to make sure I make some money out of it, no matter how it proceeds from here. Okay, my 55 is moved up to 88.20, so I'll move my stop up to 88. Okay, I added some numbers to simply mark what I told you later, that this looked like 7 moves of a downcast clamshell, up a 1, 2, this is probably a 3 up here. So uh, trying to write it out, there'll be a 4, and we'll see what move 5, 5 and 6 look like. Okay, what I'm putting up on the screen down here, oops, I got an error in that program. But I'll ignore the error, not close that because it'll close this program. Uh, what I want to point out here is that when I look at the two moontide lines, we sort of had a green moontide catching a high here, but really there's a strong indication in a congestion you tend to see both tides. And here's a high on the red tide, pretty much a low on the red tide. This was a potential high, but it looks like we have now inverted to go up on the green tide. So if that green tide holds, we're up to the close. So I'm going to try to hold this trade until the close. My little cycle indicator here, if I get stopped out, it's going to be for 4 points. So not too bad. Sometimes it's hard to hang tough. It's easier to hang tough. Remember that little cover I took back here? Where I had two contracts. I picked up 1.75. That gives me more staying power than this. So one of my better strategies, if I do day trade, which I don't like to do anymore, it's a lot of work, but can be fun on a good day. 1.75. I tried to get a couple of points easy early, and put me in the green for the day, so that then I can tolerate some of the gyrations that go on later. Here I like my indicator is not come below the midpoint here. Okay, now one reason I'm trying to hold through this is if I put my little chaos clamshell up there, let me adjust it a little more precisely here. It's not that good of a sketch, but it's most useful here. Tells me that if I can hold into this region over here in time, which is where this cycle turns up, by the way, I will have a 1, 2, 3, 4, and again, you got to belong in 5 in an up chaos clamshell. So I'm already long, so I'm trying to hang on until we get to 5. I like the little wick here. It curled up off of the 55-minute exponential moving average, which is good. These averages are still converging. If we move up, they'll cross cleanly. So I'll just sit there and assume that I've got an upcast clamshell here, and if I'm lucky, I can hold it into the close. If I get stopped out, it's for 4 points, a couple $100. It's not bad. So nothing to do at this point but wait. Now I do have a request for all those of you who tuned in. You all have my email address. I've been working for better part of this year to come up with a better version of the Chaos Clinic. Uh, and I I need to improve my marketing so that uh, I can not only stay in business but help my son develop his own business. So any testimonials you would like to make, I would appreciate to send them to me in an email at dr.al.lerson@earthlink.net. I'd appreciate it, and uh, your name will never be used, just your initials. But if you like this new version of the Chaos Clinic, let me know, and I'll work harder at trying to continue doing them this way in the future. It's a great improvement in the technology. It's been very difficult for me to get all the technocrat piece parts together, but I think they're finally coalescing here. So I'd appreciate any comments. Thank you.
Order filled.
Okay, I was just stopped out on that trade. So my trading is done for the day here. Uh, Although I'm going to let the screens run here and I'll make them back and make additional comments. I just don't think I'll make any more trades. I do want to see how this comes out uh, and take a listen for next time to cover this. It's been a long, hard week for me, so I'm a little tired at this point in the day. So I don't feel bad about only getting 4 points there. I had 9. I could have taken them. Here I had 5. I could have taken them, but I didn't. And that's just the way it goes when I'm trying to deal with all this simultaneously. So I'm going to have to look in the IB accounting, see where that last cell was. Oops, that's the wrong place. Look, trade log. Oh, this is in that interactive broker simulator. It won't be an IB. Simulator should be, okay. It was 86.5. That was for plus 3.5. So plus 1.75, plus 3.5 so far. You know what? I'm going to hang around here and finish the day. I worked really hard at this. When I do want to be long in move 5 here. Okay, this high was, remember I said that we had little streaks across the moontide times here. This one turned at the moontide, which indicates possible secondary low here. Now we have all the, we backed off to the 440. So if the 20 turns up here, there's going to be a continuation buy right in here. So I'm going to wait a few bars and see what happens. Okay, there's a 1, 2, 3. Okay, if there's a 4, it's going to be over in here. Okay, there we're getting one green bar, getting another green bar off of this low.
Order filled.
I'm just going to buy one in there. And I'm going to put my stop right here. Oh, come on, Ninja Trader. Do what you're supposed to.
Order pending.
So I bought an 89.5, put a stop. That's 3 points lower. That'll guarantee that even if I'm stopped out, I'm still positive for the day. So I'm just going to hang tough here again. A contributing factor to rebuying is this cycle here is verified by the indicator. This was a high. There's some kind of frequency doubling here that's not a part of this cycle. Here's the matchup of cycle lows. Pattern 1, 2, 3, and 4. So if this is 4 is really over here, and we're staying above this cluster of moving averages. That's a volatility pinch coming down there, and this will be a volatility expansion going up. So third trade of the day, I'm going to hang tough here. Let it run. I will not say that stop was too close. It was exactly where it should have been. trade just was done.
Order filled.
Well, that was quick. So I got stopped out for -3, and I am done for the day. In hindsight, I was too aggressive on that third trade entry. But hey, it's Friday afternoon. It's been a challenge to do the Chaos Clinic, and I'm tired. So, but I'm still ahead for the day by 2.25 points. Uh, which isn't too bad considering everything else I was doing. I still think there's move 5 left here, but I am not going to trade it. I'll let that uh, be an exercise for the students. Anyone wants to type in what they do in the chat room, that's fine. Uh, Screens are going to run now until the close, which will be in about an hour and a half. I'm going to turn off my microphone and I may come back later and annotate charts, but I'm about energy spent personally here. So what I do like here though is that this 2x1 is holding here. I still think we're going to work up higher into the close, but typical Friday afternoon, we've run out of energy. Not just the market, but also Dr. L himself. So, but I will let the stuff run, and you can watch it, and we'll just see what happens. I'll check back in later. Okay, I'm still around, been doing some other stuff in the office. We're holding flat here. We now have a chance that we're going to rally further up into the close. This was a 1 by 1. I'm going to move it over here. And this 1 by 1 and 2 by 1 uh, cross right here. So right in this point, we may get some more energy. So I'm around. I'm just watching it. I'll make some comments. I'm going to finish up this recording of this session into the close, but probably no more trading, and hope everyone's enjoyed it and has a good weekend.
Order filled. Order pending.
Okay, it's now late in the day. This move 4 looked like it completed. So I did decide to just buy one right in here, put a stop here. I like the fact that uh, the exponential moving averages are still moving up, the longer ones. The shorter ones switched back and forth, so I did get trading both sides. But I'm still thinking that there's going to be a little bit of a rally going into the close here. So I don't think there's much risk in doing a little bit of buying right here. This point 4 and point 2 are at the same price level, so that tends to set a support level. So I put my stop just under that and under S1. So some chance here that as we go into the close, we get a little bit of a rally. It's only about 45 minutes here, so I'm not expecting much great. I'm still pouting because I rebought in here instead of waiting. And then I got whacked for 3 points. So, but that happens. I made a mistake when I through this S1 line. I should have been 2084.5. Both of these lows were right on it. So that does tell me that uh, there was some computerized buying off of this. Not much to go on. The moving averages have turned up. This 440 is still relatively flat, but the 220 is turned up, this light gray one right in here. This little cycle down here may have inverted. Uh, there was a high there on 1 midway on this leg. Uh, we had a low, which means that this probably inverted to be a high at 180. So that'd make a low at 210. So I'm going to go into that indicator now and invert it. So over the next 30 minutes, we might get a little bit of lift here. Nothing big, nothing to write home about. Uh, relatively quiet trading. I just don't think the pattern's over here yet. Okay, now we're looking good in here. It's only up a couple ticks, but what I like here is that the moving average is we have a 2110 crossing, and now we're staying above it, and that this candle has a pretty good wick on the bottom of it. So I'm going to hang tough now. Okay, now it's looking good. It looks like this one's going to be a winner. Now I can move my stop up just under these moving averages right there. So now that we bounced off of S1 here, we should definitely reach the pivot. Extreme chance we could shoot up to R1. I'm not going to hold my breath, but I will ride this trade. Squeeze my stop up to 2088, as tight as I can right in here. Right here at 2088 and a half is my 55-minute exponential moving average. So I waited patiently. I did some other work, then I came back and hopefully caught a move 5 here, which will be pretty good. What I did here is bring my 6x1 GAN angle or GAN line over. If this move continues, it should move at a 6x1. Okay, I'm now up 3 points. I'm going to move that stop up here to break even. I may have to leave if my wife brings the groceries home and I have to help her unload. If so, this trade will be a cover on the close type trade. What I like right in here is that the EXMAs have curled up. Got my stop right up here at the 55 minute. I also like that we're getting a little bit of wicking right on the quantum grid line. So now I'll just let this run to the close and see what happens. I am going to raise my stop so that I claim 2 ticks. Hope that's not too close. Back it off, claim 1 tick. Close enough.
Order filled.
Okay, that trade did not survive. I am done with my comments for the day. The screen will run till the close, and then I'm going to save the session. I got a tick there. Could have gotten a couple points, but I wasn't nimble enough. That happens. So thank you for coming. I hope to see you next week. And if you have any comments, please send them to me in email. And if you want to learn to cash in on chaos, take some courses.
Order filled. Order pending.
Okay, I'm just doing a little bit of grab ass trading right here. Near the close, we got this little dip right here on this energy cycle. Uh, I'd gotten stopped out. I bought earlier and I got stopped out for one tick here, so thought I'd give it another try here. May not be anything there, uh, but we continue to press higher going into the close. So I just thought I'd give it a try. Okay, I'm still long. I rebought in here. I'm just trying to hold this into the close. The where I got stopped out for one tick, my stop was too close. The 55-minute exponential moving average. So the indicators are that this cycle down here is up into the close. So hopefully I can get a couple ticks here. If not, no big deal. But my strategy all day was to buy the dips, and so far it's worked. I screwed up the one trade here where I rebought too soon. I screwed up this trade by pressing a stop too close, but that happens. Now, interesting things happen on Friday. Uh, the outcry markets, like the stocks will close at right at 4 o'clock Eastern. Futures are open for 15 more minutes. And then on the electronics exchanges, there's some continued trading for like 45 minutes more. So many times, right after the stocks close, there will be some activity in the futures in this after outcry session, and that could happen today. Longer term, again, we got the jobs report. We pouted about it. We accepted the fact that the Fed's probably going to raise interest rates, but not until December. So we may as well buy for a rally the rest of November here. Longer term, and trying to make that work with a day trade here. Okay, I like these numbers coming in here too. I'm going to carry this oh, it's right now 4 o'clock. Uh, I'll wait as long as I can. Probably not going to be able to stay much longer. I've got some errands to do. Okay, I'm now going to push my stop up 2090. I'm long from 91 1/4, so risking 1 1/4. That's a pretty tight stop, especially in today's markets. Again, raising my stop. At some point, I do have to cover and leave, but I'm trying to hold as long as I can. This is a move 5. It's going up as expected. This cycle is up. Uh, uh, the XMAs are up. I'm trying to stay calm and cool. Okay, these are 3-minute bars. This is the 6 past the hour bar. So I'm going to cover probably in about 2 more bars. I like the angle we're going up, but it's not a 6x1. So I'm going to get rid of that line. Plus 2.25 plus 2. Okay. Okay, after the stocks have closed, the futures are running up, continuing to run up. is one of the interesting nuances on the trading the future on stocks, that you're actually trading multiple markets simultaneously, the stock market and the futures market. Futures market trades in Chicago, stocks in New York, so 1 hour time difference shows up. A lot of stuff shows up. Okay, I'm going to cover right here.
Order canceled.
Okay, now I'm done for the day. Thank you for coming. Picked up 2 more points there, so I'm relatively happy. So thank you for coming. Have a good weekend. See you next week.